high fades faster than the receipt. You walk out holding the bag, already sensing the warmth slipping away. By the time you reach the car, something has shifted. The thrill felt huge inside the store, now strangely small. You tell yourself you earned this little joy, but under that thought lives a quieter feeling you can't name. It's not regret exactly. It isn't guilt either. It's a soft emptiness where the excitement just was, sitting open inside. By the end of this, you'll understand that ache. You'll see why shopping feels good for minutes, then quietly fades. It isn't weakness or poor discipline. It's a very human pattern your nervous system learned long before you held money. Picture yourself in a bright store, holding something you almost don't need. Your chest feels lighter, your mind suddenly quiet. That feeling isn't really about the item in your hands. It's about the relief your body finds in saying yes. Then comes the checkout, the beep, the smile, the receipt. Everything aligns, and you feel beautifully in control. But the second you step outside, real life walks back in. The traffic, the worries, all return softly around you. That's when the strange dip arrives. The thing is still new, but the feeling it gave you is dissolving. Most people blame themselves here. They decide they're impulsive, irresponsible, broken in some quiet way they never say out loud. But what's really happening is much gentler than that. Your brain delivered a small chemical reward, and then it stopped. The anticipation, the choosing, the deciding, that's where the spark lives. Owning the thing afterwards never gives that electricity back. So you're not addicted to the item itself. You're chasing the few minutes where you felt soothed and slightly different. And that version of you matters more than we admit. She is calm. She is allowed. She is finally enough. For a few minutes inside that store, you become her. Then the lights fade, the bag closes, and you return. Notice how often shopping happens after something hard. A draining day, a difficult conversation, a week you couldn't hold. The cart fills up not because you needed items. It fills because something inside needed proof comfort was still available. The brain learns fast. Hard feeling, small purchase, brief relief, repeat. It becomes a quiet loop underneath your adult life. It isn't a flaw in your character at all. It's a system doing exactly what it was trained to do. For many of us, this began in childhood, a treat after a bad day, an outfit before something scary. Maybe a parent who couldn't say warm words gave a small gift instead. The love arrived, wrapped in something tangible. Or maybe money felt tight and a rare splurge felt like sunshine. Joy and spending became braided together very early. So your nervous system absorbed a quiet equation. When something feels too heavy inside, a purchase might lighten it briefly. That equation didn't disappear when you grew up. It just got a debit card, an app, and same-day delivery now. Now the pattern hides in plain sight. A bad meeting, then a browse. A lonely Sunday, then a cart full. You're not weak for this. You're using a coping tool your younger self learned before she had any other way. Here's the deeper layer most people miss. Shopping isn't really about getting. It's about expecting something good on the way. Your brain releases the most pleasure, not at purchase, but in the imagining, the scrolling, the picturing it in life. That's why the cart often feels better than delivery. The fantasy is unlimited. The actual item sits on real shelves. The package arrives, and there's a small flicker of joy. Then the box opens, and the fantasy quietly closes itself. You're not crazy for feeling that dip. You feel the gap between who you hope to be and now. Because every purchase underneath is a tiny story we tell ourselves about the woman we're becoming, the life nearby. The candle wasn't a candle. It was calm evenings, slower mornings, a softer version of you who finally enjoys home. The dress wasn't a dress. It was confidence, attention, a sense of being seen the way you always wished for. When the item arrives, the story doesn't come with it. The candle is wax. The dress is fabric. Quiet returns. That's the real reason the high fades so fast. The thing was never the point. The feeling underneath was, let me ask you something gently. Think of your last small purchase that lifted you, then faded sooner than expected. What were you really feeling that day before you ever opened the app? Tired, unseen, anxious, lonely, or stretched thin? If something comes up, leave it softly in the comments. Just a word about what your shopping is really suiting. Your honesty might land in front of someone tonight, someone who thought she was the only one feeling this. Then come back here and let's keep going. The next layer changes how you see this pattern deeply and forever. There's a phrase worth holding gently here. Shopping often becomes emotional regulation, dressed up as a harmless adult errand. When something inside feels too big, the body looks for a small lever. A purchase is a fast available lever. You don't have to explain it. You don't have to justify it. You just tap, swipe, and feel relief. But emotional regulation through buying has one quiet problem. It treats the surface, never the storm underneath, so it returns. Think of it like a warm blanket on a cold draft. The blanket helps briefly, but the window stays open. That's why the same feeling keeps coming back no matter how full the closet gets. The feeling lives somewhere else. The feeling lives somewhere older, in the part of you that learned, long ago, that needs were inconvenient or selfish. So you found a quiet, private way to give yourself comfort. Shopping became a language your younger self could speak. There's something tender about that, when you really see it. A small person inside you, still making sure you're okay. She isn't your enemy. She's the part of you who kept you going through years no one fully understood. The work isn't shaming her into silence. The work is letting her know you hear her now and offering alternatives. You might whisper to her, "I see you. I know what you're trying to do. Thank you for protecting me." That tiny inner conversation does more than any spending rule. It reaches the layer where the pattern actually originally started. Notice too how shopping promises identity. New things suggest a new chapter, a fresh start, a slightly different woman ahead. That promise is powerful when you've been feeling stuck. A purchase whispers that change is possible, just 2 days away. But identity isn't waiting inside a package. It's built in how you speak to yourself on ordinary mornings. The woman you want to become already lives inside you. She doesn't need accessories to arrive, only space to breathe. The bag arrives, and the same self unwraps it. That's when the dip really hits, though most never name it. It isn't disappointment in the item. It's disappointment that the deeper change you hoped for didn't slip into the box. This is why no closet ever feels finished. The mind keeps reaching, because what it really wants can't be ordered. There's another layer worth seeing, especially for women carrying old money guilt. Shopping can be a quiet, small, hidden rebellion. If you grew up watching every dollar, often hearing no, wanting, felt selfish. Buying yourself something now feels reclaiming. For a moment, you get to be the one who says yes. Yes to softness, color, yes to including yourself. That yes is beautiful and real, but when it's the only place you say yes, it carries too much. So the purchase ends and the yes ends with it. Then the search begins again for the next small permission. You deserve a life full of bigger yeses. Yes to rest, slowness, being held. Yes to wanting things openly today. When more yeses live in everyday life, shopping softens. It stops doing emotional heavy lifting. It was never designed for. Here's the gentle reframe to carry from this. The few-minute high isn't proof you're broken. It's proof you're finding comfort. It found you a fast way to soothe yourself. The goal isn't shaming that skill, but widening the comforts available. Right now, the menu might be small. Buy something, scroll something, eat something, refresh something. Quick, available, never enough. A wider menu might include a slow walk or a longer exhale. A real conversation, a hand on your chest. These don't deliver in 2 days. They don't sparkle in a window, but they reach where shopping keeps knocking. You don't have to give up buying things. This isn't about restriction, rules, or another way to feel like failing. It's about noticing. Before the next purchase, pause one breath longer and ask what you're really hoping this gives. If the answer is joy, because you love it, enjoy it. If it's rescue from feeling, that feeling deserves attention. That single question, asked kindly, slowly rewires the loop. Not overnight, but enough that the high stops being everything. Some days you'll still buy the thing, and that's completely okay. Awareness isn't perfection, it's an honest relationship with yourself. Other days, you'll pause, name the feeling, and find a different comfort. Those days quietly add up into something new. You'll notice the cart feels less urgent, the browsing feels less like searching, the package arrives, the dip feels lighter. That's the real shift. Not a woman who never shops, but one who knows what she's reaching for, gently. You begin to see your patterns without flinching. Curiosity replaces criticism, and that single shift changes everything about shopping. You stop punishing yourself after the dip. You simply notice, breathe, and ask what was underneath. That's the whole practice. The high stops needing to last forever because you stop needing it to do something so impossibly large for you. You begin trusting that comfort comes in many forms. A bath, a song, a slow call, an hour of nothing. And slowly the relationship with shopping shifts shape. It becomes one option among many instead of the only available door. You'll catch yourself mid-scroll one evening and smile softly. You'll realize you don't actually want the item, just the feeling. And in that small moment, you choose differently. Maybe you close the app, maybe not, but the choice is conscious. That awareness is the beginning of real freedom, not freedom from spending, but from needing spending to do impossible work. You begin to give yourself what money truly can't buy. Rest, patience, kindness toward the woman in the mirror, and shopping, when it happens, becomes lighter and cleaner. You enjoy what you bought, then put it down without aftermath. That's what healing this pattern actually looks like. Not perfection, just a quieter, more honest relationship with desire itself. If something here landed somewhere quiet inside, leave a gentle word below. Tell me what your shopping has been holding. Your sentence might be the one another tired woman needed tonight, the one that helps her stop blaming herself completely. If this channel helps you understand yourself more, please subscribe. Turn the bell on so we can keep meeting. There's more to gently unpack together about guilt, scarcity, the quiet stories money has been telling you since long ago. For tonight, hold this softly inside you. The high fades fast because the thing was never the point underneath everything. You don't need another bag to feel okay tonight. You need a few more moments of being met by yourself. That meeting can start right now, with one slow breath, one soft hand resting on your own heart.